administration in Europe.
And perhaps the best question for the last, one of our young ambassadors from the Kautilya School of Public Policy. Please go ahead. Just go ahead.
Can you hold up the mic closer? Yeah.
There's no need to be nervous. You can just ask the question.
Sir, I want to ask about with emerging technologies now a key determinant of global power. How India will navigate the delicate balance between strategic tech alliances and maintenance of technological sovereignty. Do you also see a role for Indian academia in this process?
Okay, so you got a question on DPI, Transatlantic Alliance, China, and India.
Yeah. Okay. Look, on the, I mean, you referred to the UPI, but that's one example, a very important, successful one, but still one example. I would actually make the point that in the last decade, there has been at a societal level an enormous embrace of digital technology in this country. Now, we in fact assume it's happened all over the world. And as a frequent traveler, I have to say that is not exactly the case. You know, when you go around the world, I'm very surprised how much more conservative many other countries and societies and people are about the application of technologies to of digital technology, particularly to their daily lives. And, you know, cashless transactions are one very good example. Okay, you know, if you look at our just raw numbers, the numbers are huge. And, okay, the transactions may be small, but to me the important point is if you have a large number of small transactions, that means it is actually seeped all the way down. So, and when we look today, not just at, say, business or even the social side, I look even at governance. A lot of what we have been able to do, we would not be able to do if it wasn't built on a digital backbone. If we are today, let us say, we have a health system which covers about half our population today, it would be inconceivable. You know, we wouldn't know who the beneficiaries, who the eligible people would be. If we have, you know, we built 40 million houses, which means at 5 a house, about 200 million people have got houses. We wouldn't know who are the 40 million people who deserve that house, who are eligible for that house. So what it has done is, it has created, and you know, I mean, there are a lot of other services. I mean, you could say your passport has got easier, your income tax filing has got easier, your driving license has got easier. But pretty much every walk of life, when I see the ease and, you know, the confidence and the agility and the, you know, creativity with which people today are applying this to the daily problems, to the governance, to policy issues, to their transactions, I think it's actually something we should be very proud of. Now, how can it impact the world? To some extent through examples. Because one of the advantages of putting some of this in a global south construct is other nations. There are a lot of nations who believe that if it works in India, it will work for them. They believe that the conditions are similar and therefore these are replicable or transposable experiences. They may not believe it of the same technology or the same experience if it was happening in some other region at a very different level of development. So, you know, there is a, I would say, an exemplar's impact as well. But here again, it's, you know, it doesn't happen by itself. That it needs leadership, it needs policies, it needs constant exhortation, motivation, marketing, call it what you will. It has to be very activist for it to reach that level of penetration and that degree of acceptance. And that, to my mind, going back to your first question, that actually readies the society for a different growth possibility ahead. I mean, it's not just a question of having a different pathway. The mindset and the capability and the instincts of people have to be differently prepared for a different pathway to be exploited. And that, to my mind, is the churning and change in India, which makes this today a possibility. On the transatlantic and would China exploit it? Look, it is a competitive world. It is a multipolar world. Every gap, every opportunity will be used by every player. No player is going to constrain themselves out of respect for, the fine feelings of somebody else. So if something shows up, I think as a general principle, after all, it doesn't have to be China. I mean, tomorrow if two other countries have gaps between them, whether it is Europe or United States would exploit it equally cheerfully. So, I mean, we have to get real about this world and move out of both the political correctness that, different people should have different standards of behavior and operations in the international polity, as well as a realization that the thinking of countries about their interests have changed. In some ways it had, it was there inside of us, we just didn't say it. In some cases it has genuinely changed. So it's, and I'm not, again, I don't want to give you a kind of a vision of an anarchic Hobbesian world. I think there will be equilibriums. What we are probably going to see, instead of a overarching world order, which is very convenient for anybody in the political science, international relations business, we are actually going to see regional aggregates, regional balances. So there will be a US-Europe balance. There will be a China-US balance. There will be a China-Europe balance. There will be an India balance. So it's these multiple balances which would be more autonomous of each other, whose aggregate and interplay would actually determine what the global order is likely to be. And the last issue on the, the strategic interests and the tech sovereignty. There is a, there is an interplay there because, again, if you need to have that tech capability which has aspects of sovereignty built into it, which will make us a player. We cannot, a country of this scale and this size and this history and that ambition, we have to think of ourselves as a player and design our policies accordingly. And to do that, we need to get the alliances and the understandings right in different domains, certainly in the tech domain. So there will be some give and take because, when you work with other countries, sovereignty is always, to some degree, is a card you put on the table in return for some gain. So you work out what is an ideal degree of cost and benefit out there. I think that would apply to the tech world as well. But I think it's very important, therefore, to be judicious because the nature of the business is so profound. The consequences are so far-reaching. This is not just about trading. You can always not buy from the earlier supplier. That kind of rapid changes and options won't happen in this world. I think it's a far more, I would say, linked world or a interdependent, interpenetrative world. So, and yes, I certainly, I mean, as research, innovation, GCCs, designing pick up in this country, I think Indian academia, which again there is a general feeling that, there should be more resources and greater attention given to R&D and innovation in this country. I think clearly they will have a greater role to play.
Dr. Jaishankar, thank you for your time, generosity, and we look forward over the next 2 days to connecting these linked worlds in different technological ways. Thank you very much and for your support, sir.